For week 2, we are going to be going through 2 different chapters. Chapter 2 basically shows you how to use SQL Server Management Studio. And it's important that you know how to use the software that interacts with our database files. Because if you really understand how to use the software, it'll make the entire course easier for you. Chapter 3 deals with retrieving data from different tables. So in order to complete the assignments for this week, you have to have SQL Server installed, SSMS installed, and the different databases installed. And all of that information is in week 1. To start with, you are going to read chapters 2 and 3 in your book, and then you can review the key points. And the key points basically summarize the information that's in the chapters, and they include different screenshots. If you're on campus, you may be using SQL Server Management Studio version 17. If you have just downloaded the software, then you're going to be using the current version, which is 18. And there's really no visible differences between the two. So in order to access that software, you're going to hit search, key in SSMS, and then your app will display and you'll click on it. Now, what I always do once it's running, and I can see it down here on the taskbar, is I right click and I pin it to my taskbar. So there's an option here to pin, and I just do that because I'm lazy, and then once it's pinned, I can just left click on it and get into the software. So I'm going to go ahead and walk through this process. So it's SSMS that we're searching for. Left click to launch. Hopefully it'll open on this monitor, but it likes to go into my other one. And I can see that it's doing that right now. So once it launches, you are going to see, oh good, it came over here. You're going to see this little connect to server. And all you really should have to do here is hit connect, because it should be using your Windows authentication to ensure that you are who you say you are. So if we hit connect, what you're going to see over here on the left are the different folders in SSMS. Probably the most important one to start with is the databases folder. And if you expand that, you will see the different database files that we installed in week 1. And chapter 2 and these notes basically walk through how to do various tasks in the SSMS interface. And you can see that the computer name is different here than in the notes, and that's because this is my laptop, that is my desktop. Yours is going to be different than mine, and that's fine. What you should have that is the same is the list of database files. So this document basically explains everything you ever wanted to know about SSMS, okay? And kind of walks you through how to do everything. And you are going to be completing an assignment that is forcing you to use SSMS. So if you click on the assignment link, there is a little video that kind of walks you through at least this first task, what you're supposed to do. And from there, you can kind of go through task 2, 3, and 4. You will notice that there aren't step-by-step instructions here because you have step-by-step instructions in the chapter and in the lecture demo. Okay, so if you're not sure how to accomplish a task, come back here, and this is where you're going to find those step-by-step instructions. Once you complete the assignment, you're going to upload it to the Dropbox and then continue on with chapter 3. So you're going to want to make sure you read through the chapter in the book and then go through the key points. And embedded in here, I do have links to live sites where you can actually practice entering commands. Most of these sites are using a version of the Northwind database, which we also have in our SSMS interface. It's a very famous database. So you're going to go through chapter 3, kind of read through this. I highly encourage you to do the interactive links because in this class, you're going to learn by doing. So you can't really learn how to key in SQL commands just by reading. You actually have to type them in and get your hands on it. Okay, so that is basically what this is encouraging you to do. Okay, so click the links and practice. Then you have an assignment covering the chapter information. And you can see that we have 4 tasks in this assignment. And I do have videos that you can watch that kind of walk you through how to complete them. And a lot of students find it very helpful to play the video and do the commands at the same time. So if you have a large monitor, it's not a problem because you can have the video over here, you can have SSMS open, and you can do them at the same time. If you don't have a large monitor, if you have dual monitors, you can play the video on one monitor and do the exercise in SSMS on the other one. If you don't have dual monitors and you have a phone or a mobile device, you can also use that because these are all YouTube videos. Okay, so all the videos for this class are on YouTube, and I've included links in the textbook assignments that'll help you kind of walk you through how to do the commands. When we get into lab assignments, I'm expecting you to remember how to execute the commands. So you're not going to get as much help on the lab assignments. The textbook ones, I am helping you with, okay, because it'll be your first time keying in those commands. Now, this is going to result in a SQL file. So your end result is going to be a page with a bunch of commands. And so you're going to want to save that, and there's directions in here as far as saving. And once you save the file, then you are going to upload that to the Dropbox. Okay, and that is what is required in week 2. Now you will notice, to help you out, in week 1 and week 2, I did include a Word document with the end of chapter terms and definitions. I've also included a link to W3 School's SQL tutorial. This is pretty much everything that we've covered. So if you click on that link and you feel like you need a little more practice, you can see that you can go through the sections in here. And this is where I got those interactive examples from. So that is week 2. If you run into problems or if you have any questions at all, please ask. I don't want you guys to get frustrated. I would much prefer that you ask if you are confused. Keep in mind that I do have on-campus classes. So if you ask a question while I'm teaching an on-campus class, I'm not going to see it until I'm done teaching. But I typically do try to get back to students within 24 hours.